So the government's fiscal strategy, it basically emphasizes stability, non-negotiable rules, prioritizing security, defense. We've seen that 2 billion is likely to go to drones, things like new homes, things like energy. The housing market slowdown, budget uncertainty, they're all linked. Buyers are basically holding off ahead of the budget announcement on the 26th of November. And why wouldn't they? They could start something in motion saying that they want to buy a property, pushing paperwork through, and then in 2 months' time, when it finalizes, it could end up costing them an arm and a leg. Crime and cybercrime also have direct impacts on GDP and therefore budget priorities. Put simply, the budget isn't just about tax and spending, it's about signal. And we've already seen this when Rachel Reeves did her peculiar pre-budget warm-up speech about 2 weeks ago. The stock market had 20 billion wiped off it literally by the time she'd finished. My crypto portfolio tanked within an hour or two, and it's not recovered. So there you go. But it's about more than just taxes and spending. As I said, it's about signals. It's about what the government chooses to fund now, and they need to prove how that is going to actually improve our lives or add value to the future. And I think this is where they fall apart. If the budget fails to boost living standards measurably, if it fails to fix housing, if it fails to reduce insecurity and poverty and employment and all of the other things that are screwed in this country, if it fails to fix public services and address the black hole in the economy, then we're looking at another decade probably where working people are going to fall farther and farther behind, whilst the complexity of the government grows. And in the last two governments, both Labour and Conservative, we've seen more, I believe they call them NGOs or quangos, that used to be the old term for them. We've seen more and more of these pop up than at any other time in history. There are now thousands, and I mean thousands upon thousands, of non-government organisations where funds are basically siphoned over to friends of friends or cousins that have set up a business or whatever it might be that are doing the good work on behalf of the government. And it's basically stealing money from the taxpayer. I think there needs to be full transparency and full disclosure and maximum accountability. If funds are diverted over to an NGO that should be going to a public service, we should know why. We should know how much. We should know who's getting that money. What are they spending it on? Where there should be a paper trail. Long story short, we should ask for receipts. In fact, we shouldn't even need to ask for them. It should just be visible. There should be maximum visibility. There should be no questions asked. Every single red cent should be accounted for. And at the moment, it's just not. And what does this say? Money is the tool, but choices are the statement. What does it say about our society and our government if the budget protects the system more than it protects the citizen? Because that's what's currently happening. But what are your thoughts on this? Drop it in the comments, let me know. YouTube is going to stick a video there. Like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, all that jazz, and there'll be another video tomorrow. Goldman, peace out.